run it up or run it down? Let's see which one it's going to be this time. Casters, let us know which side of the Nisqy coin are we getting this time.
I don't know. I feel like we get both sides of the coin in a lot of games.
The edge?
Yeah, that's right.
Considered that.
He's a rare breed. Now, game 3, here we go. Vitality. I think last game, Nako, his potential was there. He was so fed. He just didn't get it all to line up. And again, with BDS, you know, if there's a will with a way with 113 setting it up. But Nuke was a carry threat. Let's see what he gets this game. Now, Ziggs is taken away on blue side. Jace, again, is something that just can't be lit. Let's try words. Yeah. Left up, because B1 is just so strong.
Let's try spinning. I hear that's a good trick.
I've tried that, but done that on a chair and tried to cast, but then I wanted to throw up. That was not ideal. What is blindable B1? That's the new question here on game 3.
So,
Malco, gone.
Well, Malco's gone, Sejuani's gone, so do we fall back onto something like Skarner if you want something tanky? Is Sion okay now? If you want to play towards something tankier as well. This is more towards the BDS side of things.
Yorick.
Well, Yorik's really good instant. That's not made its way up towards Europe, but hey, there
could be a day. Hey, it's Vitality.
The big one that's up right now, the big 2 things that are up right now, Kai'Sa and Varus. One of them's getting through.
Yep.
So they could be quite big. We could see an Ezreal lane as well. We might see the point where bot lane changes up a decent amount. Gwen, of course, gone here too. So I mean, surely it's the Varus first pick. That's been the European.
Carzzy's most played, surely.
It's like everyone's most played.
Yeah, really, because whenever they can get it, they'll get it, you know?
And then that opens up so much extra stuff. Varus kind of doesn't lose that much. Really? We really think about
surely not.
Instead? I mean, it's good early pressure, and he was banned away that last time. Gives Lyncas for a literal tip of the spear to lead the game.
Yep.
Suppose 113, what does he do on the other side? He could go Vi if he wanted to. That's not been played yet, even though it's not really... Well, he hasn't actually played a game of that. I would suggest he go towards the Scar.
You could pull out a Nidalee draft with Varus. Like, you know, we see it a lot in LPL. Like, a lot of teams unafraid. I was going to say, because 113, he likes Nidalee. And so, like, is this going to be the poke draft? Because even though that Jace is not available, there are still things that you can layer with this.
I mean, if he wants to do a slightly different variation of it too, a bit more disengaged, a little less poke, you can go towards the Zyra too, which has been a good pick for him. A couple of the picks we've already mentioned. What flavor do they want to go towards? More frontline, more poke. Now, in Windsor, they were the triple poke team. They played Jace, Nidalee, or Zyra, and they played the Varus. That was the composition they played. So 113 does go towards that Nidalee, one of our best players of it within the league. It does have a good matchup into the Shins out points too. You can bully him out. So, BDS, good comfort for them so far.
Get that ulti out. Also, you can just pounce. The gap close is immeasurable. So 113 having that already for BDS. I like the draft direction, but how do you pair up with the Xin Zhao is the next question for Vitality, right? Because for Nuke, do we start going for something like the Lissandra? We saw a pentakill today from Scout, or yesterday, sorry, or the day before.
Yeah.
I don't know what days.
It all blends into one.
But we got dive here. Lissandra works well into dive, but does it work well into poke?
Well, Nidalee weirdly, one of her worst matchups is not actually in jungle. It is against something like that Kai'Sa. I think particularly when we first started seeing Fearless coming into the global scene, Nidalee was answered by heavy dive and stuff like that, and the Ryze to be able to realm warp someone in as well, go in for the rune prison, lock someone like that Varus or Nidalee down, very easily blow something like a spell shield from an Edge of Night if Ice goes towards that too. Can allow that Kai'Sa to just completely obliterate 2 very squishy carries in the backside. BDS need some way to cancel out this dive. I'm actually wondering whether either Renata or Poppy are really good here. Stopping the dashes or just stopping that instead. Renekton's good lane pressure, and you get that Renekton Nidalee. Technically a flex as well, but we don't really see it in mid lane anymore. I think that Poppy Renata, very high value for BDS. They want some way to eject the engagers or stop them from getting in.
I'm just going to throw this out there with an AD jungler. Cannon is one of the best matchups into Renekton top.
True.
It sucks to play as a Renekton. I mean, so does Quinn, right? But Nako, there's been crazier things before. I wonder how a Nivea is into Renekton. I got a lot of questions. And that's going to be taken away anyway, even though Renekton looks good into it. Maybe that's kind of showing that, as you said, this is still a flex. I mean, to be fair, I've seen Varus top. And
True, yep.
I think it could still be a solo lane Varus.
I think BDS are banning away from composition, right? Because they have 3 run at you, close range, diving kind of archetypes. Vitality right now, first 3 picks sets up for Realm Warp in, Rune Prison, smash him with the Xin Zhao. If the Ambassador was on top of that, it's another person, which makes it very, very hard to make sure that your initial carry survives. If you think back to the first game as well, where everyone just piled on the Ashe, similar kind of thing which Vitality have succeeded with before. What else could they use to dive in? Nako. I mean, he has played something like the Akali top before. It used to be okay match against Renekton. Not exactly sure I'd pick that here with the other solo laner of that Ryze, but, you know, he wants to pick something which can go in with the team.
Yeah, I mean, any melee option into Renekton, it just always feels bad. Unless you can withstand the burst and get through the laning phase where he excels. Now, Brom's banned away. Maybe it's fishing for something like a Nautilus here, because that's like the last support left and available. You know, Nymaera, you're talking about it before, like something where Parus can maybe play disengage. Also, I'm going to add in engage is an option here. They've already gotten rid of the Leona and Vitality. If there's like a Nautilus ban here, goes pretty hard. Yeah, that's going to be banned away. So what do you get? What's left? I mean, you could counterpick mid here, but then you show cards, or you could get a priority support and leave that counterpick to show where everything's going.
It's also a question of what Nuke does as well. Okay, now do you just say, we're going to counterpick support, get something in for Nuke? Does he have anything that can contribute to the poke? There's no Victor, which is fairly long range. He has played the Tristana quite a lot actually recently, just to give him something ranged again.
Still a flex.
It's still technically true.
There's 3 flexes. Look, no, 4 if you're counting the fact that the Shy plays usually top.
Very likely going to be Renekton top, Tristana mid, and then the Varus spot.
Okay.
Tristana's a good matchup into the Ryze. Outranges, has good wave play, can out-trade him, even though he does get quite bulky as well. Vitality, you don't have the Nautilus for your own Kai'Sa now. The Neeko, very lane dominant. Neeko support is something which I have loved the world over. Right now, I think it is very lane dominant. We'll talk more about it when we get into that game, as it's likely going down there. And Aatrox has been one of the historically okay matches into Renekton. It's more skill matchup.
Yeah,
you lose a little bit, but you try and outvalue in the team fights.
Whoever gets ahead in that lane, though, takes over. It feels very flippy. But, yeah. I'm going to see that. I'm going to see the skill match up top. I like it. Nako versus Irrelevant takes a new meaning. Now, where's everything going?
Oh, Blitzcrank's great here. You're against double range. You have a Varus, which is very lane dominant. You can use the Varus E to slow into the Blitzcrank hook. Look, if you're going to play against double range, Blitzcrank does become a bit of an X factor. And if you're already playing standoff, look for the range potential. Blitzcrank goes into this, and Parus has been a mean player of this in the past. They're hovering it. I want them to lock it.
They will indeed. All right, locked. Interesting drafts for our game 3. We finalize, and it does feel like for BDS, you know, normally with Nidalee comes, you'd be like, oh, okay, we're on a timer. There's no true tank on that team. You got a bruiser. And Nidalee, as long as you just coast and, you know, make sure you don't lose too hard in the early game, I think you're chilling.
Now, so the thing which I'm looking for now is, how crazy are we going to get with just yeeting the Neeko into the team with a Ryze ult?
True.
How crazy are we getting with that?
Because that's an interaction.
You can, I mean, look, there are some fantastic Ryze combos. You can throw a Nunu who's ulting in there. You can throw, I think you can actually throw a Sion who's ulting midway through as well.
You got to catch him on the right time.
It's wonderful stuff. How much of Vitality going to do something like that? Because if they can open up a really big kind of engage into the middle of the team comp, catch the Varus and Nidalee out while they're kind of flat-footed, that can be huge. Very risky to do that now, though, into melee range Renekton's stun. The Blitzcrank ult into a hook as well. That maybe loses a lot of value. I think the onus, though, is on Vitality to close the gap in creative, interesting, and effective ways, whereas the other side, the longer it takes to do that, the more value the range of BDS gets.
Because for BDS, I mean, there's a lot of setup for the Nidalee as well. Like, the only lane that doesn't have hard CC that can lock in place for the Nidalee is mid. But look top, look bot. A good game for 113. He shows up the Nidalee, and Finn will be proud. Like, this is his man in a final game as BDS crest and try and approach the 4-3. Vitality again. We already told you about the stakes. The stakes. Losing my words at the final hurdle.
No, stakes is there.
There it is. I said states though.
Oh, right.
But alas, Vitality. That last game, they couldn't claw their way through any of the fights. But this is the kind of game where it can get real scrappy, real fast, with a lot of dive, with a lot of poke and a lot of all-in. Like, these are the kind of comps that I feel like we're going to get 20 kills by 20 minutes.
I think the margin for error is also pretty damn low too. You have no Leona, Rel, Alistar, which are more forgiving on that support role. I know we see Leonas die a lot when they go in bad games, but sure, they're still more forgiving than some. If Neeko gets caught by a Varus ult or by a Blitzcrank hook, that's it. That's their fight over. They don't get to do much. On the other side, Blitzcrank, if they go too far forwards and they flash for a hook, they're also not going to do that much. And something like that Nidalee is very risk prone as well, but 113 has done very well on it. I would argue is even our best Nidalee in the LEC.
I mean, we have some bad and Nidalees in the LEC, or maybe not
always
so
been a
good.
friendliest champion.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get the pass because in Europe historically, Yankos. Some people have missed spears. No, look, your Nidalee has still been great. Hey, you got to a World Finals, doesn't matter.
True.
I can say anything about you, and you can say that I'm washed. All right, and you're not washed, Yankos. You're a very nice person. Just don't shave your eyebrows again.
Well, it's like my friend asked me if the dishes were clean, and I said, hysterics. He smiled because he knew they were washed.
He knew they were washed.
Right. See, I can say that because you already mentioned it.
I'm so clean, you never need to wash me like that. Absolutely unreal. Now, this laning phase has started off, maybe as you'd expect here. The Blitzcrank just hoping for the push and Vitality get level 2 first, so there's only.
In the last weekend, we've seen more Neeko support in LEC. It has been everywhere, though, over in LPL, lots of LCK as well. So, I suppose there's some questions about, well, why is Neeko support strong? Worth talking about it. Neeko is lane dominant because of the Q and the E, comboing up with stuff like the Comet. Gives you a lot of very good early pushing and also early poke. That pairs up very well. Stuff like Varus with Ezreal, stuff like that too. So you can get very dominant lanes, but it can also carry some weaker AD carries through the lane too. That's one of the strongest points.
I don't know if you saw, I think it was either Weibo or it was either AL, but the Neeko turned into a cannon. I think it might have been KL. And turned into a cannon and took 6 turret shots because that's how it works.
did that famously too.
He did.
It was APA that discovered, well, was popularizing a lot of that tech.
True.
One of the cool things you can do, if you're against someone with the Doran's shield, and obviously apparent in this one, so Nuke jumps forward, he's going to get a good trade here, unlikely to get the kill. But you can you can throw out a Q, and then you can turn into a minion, which will stop the Doran's shield. Hang on a second!
Hey, under turret, Nuke! He's close to dying. Czajek has already burned his flash. Otherwise, that'd be a dead Tristana, but Nuke still has his summoner up. I like the ambition. I ain't talking him down from wanting to dive a Ryze.
And he still has the flash up too. Czajek loses that summoner. Hang on a second, he might have overstayed now. Lyncas and 113, they're both coming call.
They are, but turning into the Cougar first. The knock up there. Lyncas the flash. Nuke was scared. Lyncas target. Direction beautiful.
Lyncas kind of saves the mid lane state, and we can also see the power of cookies, by the way. Scales off of your lower HP. Czajek gets 1,000,000 HP back. No idea what that means in the current state it's in, but
yeah, agreed.
Questions for another day. Good route there. Parus can get that knock. Can get the hook back if he wants.
Parus waiting.
Maybe it was on cooldown.
Yeah, maybe use it off of camera, but mid gets a little bit feisty, and that flash now down flash for flash in the end. And as I was saying before in Pick Fan, it does feel like this is a skill match up top, but it's whoever really snowballs and later levels are relevant definitely feels better.
From what I've seen, I haven't seen a lot of Aatroxes winning the 1v. Hang on, I say
until that, yeah.
That's pretty nice. Yeah, maybe Nako can prove something wrong. It just feels so hard to deal with Renekton's early game where you don't lose that hard. I mean, you might do against Renekton Nidalee, that changes things a lot too, or Renekton Sejuani, they can change things a lot. But what tends to happen is the Renekton gets ahead, and then it's a question of who gets the most value with the early gold lead or the team fight value of Aatrox and potential resets later.
Nako's trading is really good though. And again, if you get the passive off as Aatrox, feels really good and irrelevant. All you have to do is make sure he doesn't weave his Q between minions. The kite back is even better. The spear thrown out. God, the sounds of that spear sounds like a whip.
Kind of missed the Headhunter Nidalee skin. There's did you see there's a new Predator movie being I
did not know.
Yeah, well, that's the Headhunter thing is Predator inspired.
Ah, okay.
It's very, very cool. Yeah,
makes sense. Is that not available in Pro Play still?
I can't remember. There's just a whole load of skins which I'm like, I remember them very fondly. There's also a Headhunter Caitlyn as well, right? I can't remember if and there's obviously Rengar, who is also based after Predator. Like again,
actual Predator champion, yeah.
A lot of people. Hang on a second.
Good stun. Minion wave gone as well. Oof. Surprised irrelevant.
Oh, there's level 6 coming. I was actually wondering if they'd stick around. I wonder whether the relevant sticks around for level 6 and goes for a Dominus all-in. There's a chance.
I feel like if Irrelevant gets ult off, he'll just flash W, Naak being an ult won't really matter.
I just saw the level 6 and I saw like a movement on the icon. And I got a bit excited, Jake.
Yeah, I know.
A little bit excited. It's fine. It's all good. He gets control of the wave and nothing happens.
Parus just going to see a clone. Nisqy now face checking it for real. Lyncas has spotted bot. But also 113 is here. The hook. It lands. Actually Ignite down. I thought it was fake, but Nisqy, no. Gets out only at the hair of his chin as his Ignite ticking over. He's out of summoners. Parus with a good hook as 113 just flashed. I just watched him flash into River.
Yeah. 113, not getting the most out of that, but Parus, great hook, and this is one of the reasons why, despite the lane dominance of Neeko, and hang on a second, we're sticking around, that trap, is that disabled, that trap, that ward? I'm not sure about that one. Actually pops onto Nisqy. Dragon started.
It's only very, very near sight though, so it won't do too much until now. Yeah, Hextech Drake fires very rapidly, so Lyncas taking a lot of damage. There's the poke. Lyncas with the all-in. He flashes for this as well, but the wind becomes lightning, now becomes death. 113 with the first kill. Make it a second one. Eventually, Carzzy's buying time while Czajek is now into the thick of things, but Irrelevant bursting him down. Czajek wants to get out, but he too is denied. Irrelevant with the kill. Success for BDS. Everybody's dead.
2 hooks hit leads to a bunch of kills and the Dragon going to the side of BDS. Huge win in that early game. And Lyncas just goes way too far. Doesn't have that Crescent Guard yet. There's no great follow-up. You don't have the priority coming in from mid lane either. Czajek, I wonder whether he should have just pulled the Realm Warp to make this play. If you really wanted to full send it like that, while all this is happening, you don't have an Aatrox coming into the play either.
Well, Dominus going to be used. Tangle Barb's though under turret. Irrelevant's in a lot of trouble. He won't be able to Q heal through this one. He's going to try at the very least, but Carzzy with a follow-up. Slice and dice only onto one. No minion wave means he doesn't get a reset. Might have to turn around, but the Tangle Barbs connects, and Carzzy is going to reap the rewards. 1 kill back finally in this game for Vitality.
Both supports making some plays now. Nisqy just dipping behind that minion to get the double root duration on that E. Gets it off that last minion. Definitely helps take down Irrelevant there, so he'll go down just as he contributed to that bot side play. While all this is happening though, yes, the Dragon went over to BDS, they'll also get themselves 3 grubs, so objectives all on the side of BDS.
Feels nice. This early game, it's the biggest early game we've had this quickly. I mean that with under 10 minutes, it feels like there's been small advantages in lanes, but not a fight as big as that. You know, 2 kills for the Nidalee, and as we said, the poke in this game feels like it's going to be ever so relevant. Because Relevant plays weak side for now, and you're just looking at an 800 gold lead with a Leandro who's almost built for 113. That graphic, thank you again to our production team for building what is an insight into how good 113's Nidalee is, especially with the lead.
Is there an elephant champion in League?
No, but now that you said that, there will suddenly appear.
I need there to be a game of Irrelevant. Just
Irrelevant.
Just to me.
Wait.
Just like I need Cassante claws. I need that. I need Cassanta.
Okay.
Oh, I also need Shuriman fried chicken is here. The order is given.
But I mean, he's... Yeah, okay,
That's pretty good. We got Birdio.
We do have Birdio. We have KFC Galio.
Yep. I think it should be Shuriman for Azir. It'd be great.
It should.
That's all I had for that bit. We can move on now if you'd like.
No, it's okay. I'm just trying to think of like what else I want to see.
I want bowl of Ryze. Just rice
I was going to say Smurf Ryze would be really cool, you know?
Oh, what?
Oh, my lord. I believe there was Vision? I mean, Vision from mid, enough? I don't know.
I'm going to assume so.
Let's say no and give Parus the benefit of the doubt, okay? Nymaera's rewinding. That's
I want to see what happened.
Hang on. I can confirm for you all as Czajek pushes out this mid wave.
Oh, no. I might have gone back too far. Look, you just keep talking.
I'll keep going and you tell me. You give me the definitive answer.
Yes, he had a vision. Yes, he had
vision. He had vision and he missed it on a backing target, did he?
Yep, maybe he was trying to predict a flash.
Oh,
maybe.
no.
I mean, that would be mega.
That would be mega. That would be mental. But, yeah, look, still, good news from BDS's crew as first items are coming on board. Now, Dragon's up in 2 minutes, Grub's in 2 minutes the same as well. These spears threatening Lyncas. 113 has a level lead. It's about half a level for now, but I have fear for Lyncas that this will continue growing as so much damage being done by 113. This camps are disintegrating.
I mean, particularly once he died and lost his flash, you start to free fall a bit, and anytime you die in this kind of matchup, Nidalee just hoovers through your camps, can't do anything about it, and stays ahead the rest of the game. So yeah, 113, good player of that Nidalee, gets a advantage from it. That is a worry. Of course, he got kill and assist over onto Ice as well, who is going for that poke build. So the poke core of BDS It is very much getting close to being online. Vitality needs to be very careful now how they approach fights. If they take too long, you get multiple spears and arrows coming through. That's exactly what BDS want.
Neeko is the noisiest champion in League of Legends.
Oh, unless there's that bug with Corki Gatling. Then it is. Or Korean Lysandra. That is also quite loud.
Korean Lysandra is very loud, yeah. I mean, it's like Japanese Tarek. Yeah, that was loud.
No.
Japanese Tarek.
No.
Hang on, that's a right game. That's a right game's Enterprise, whatever you call it.
All right, you go.
That was in the game.
Yes, it was.
That was not me.
The other things are too.
Japanese Tarek is not me. That is the game company I know and love, Right Games. Okay, that's not me. Okay, that happened. That was the thing.
That is a thing which has been mentioned. Search it at your
at your leisure.
Yep.
Oh boy. I mean, look, there's some great setup. Nuke ultis right into the Hearts 113, but the spear doesn't connect because of it. He'll be on the run. Another spear, hoping, willing, not succeeding.
Second time he's gone for that Tristana insect. Nako now has flash, no ult. Anyone else coming down here? There's a Neeko. Parus are coming down too. Parus can flash ult, look for the knockup.
Boy, he close. Nako with a good dodge away, but it enables the turret plating to go to Nuke. Nisqy now spotted out, takes a spear to the heart, and meanwhile, we're getting picture-in-picture because Irrelevant is just absorbing pressure from Carzzy, but 113 is going to start up Dragon number 2.
And Vitality, I guess they don't feel like they have the big items right now. They don't have their one-item spike. The grubs have spawned on the top side, Dragon on the bot side. Vitality, I mean, it's dangerous to give up so many objectives, but can you really fight? You got to hard force if you're going to, because again, the poke and the hooks are threatening already, actually.
Yeah, 113 is also running out of mana slowly but surely inside of the jungle. I think that'll become less of an issue as he slowly heals that up thanks to the passive, but as Ice looks for mid-wave, Vitality have a chance to move into River and try and get an objective of their own.
There is a danger here, though, that if Vitality start this up, well, we'll see if this can test, but they are distracted by hitting the Dragon and they're pinned up against the wall. It is easier to hit skill shots on them while they're like this. BDS, do they want to move towards it? No, they're not. I'll choose to give that one up. So Vitality, Carzzy,
hang on.
Careful.
Flash, is he going to do it? No, minion wave in the way. Parus was thinking about it for sure, as Nuke is going to face check here into an Aatrox after Dragon's done, but he buffers the Infernal Chains. Rocket jump out while Irrelevant. The cost of that, as well as getting grubs, is Irrelevant getting solo time with the turret, plating as well. Czajek might have to use the Realm Warp to stop another wave being denied.
Grubs to BDS. Dangerous when you have a Tristana. Yeah, this is the thing now. You're going to give a lot of plates over while all this is happening. He's going to immediately bomb the turret. And while there's Demolish used by Nako on the bot side, full turret going to be spread between Nuke and Irrelevant. A lot of plate gold over towards them. And we just saw what Nuke did with a bunch of gold in that last game. He has been a very consistent late game damage source for BDS. If they reach that point, it can peel for him effectively. Maybe a warning sign here for Vitality.
I feel like Nuke on this Tristana just got so much influx. And we are now, as you just said, you know, like, he feels like old Mr. Reliable. Nako's trying to get plating of his own, but the gold is skyrocketing. BDS, 2k gold ahead, but I'm seeing a Nidalee, I'm seeing a Tristana, I'm seeing a Renekton, all with leads of their own. I'm seeing a lethality Varus in control of the game as well. All conditions are being met for BDS to, around these next couple of objectives, poke out and one-shot Vitality.
I mean, yes, hang on a second. Irrelevant might go towards something onto Nako here. Just really want to pull this.
He's going to walk out.
Just sometimes I get baited by the camera. Even I'm like, you're doing something a little bit more there, observers. You want to, yeah. You're doing okay there, observers, by the way. Do you want to give us a little nod if you're doing okay? You're okay, observers? Oh,
that was a nod.
That was a nod. They're doing okay.
Sensitivity's a
bit
low,
we'll give them extra rations into their enclosure after this game.
We're not letting them out, though. No.
No, that'd be fun.
The observers aren't getting let out.
No.
No. Back to the basement, and we'll talk to you next week.
Many concerning things.
I have to say joke or something, I think. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. You know, yeah.
What if I'm not joking? Well, BDS.
Where's the risk?
It's a minute till the next objective. That's top. But I look towards mid, and I'm waiting because Blitzcrank, when he's in a game, you just think, when's he going to find the next hook?
Well, in a 1v3 in mid lane, Carzzy's clearing out as best he can, but can't stop them hitting the turret. Nisqy potentially on the other side here. I mean, Nisqy has flash, has a chance for a big engage at some point. We'll see when he wants to pull the trigger. Of course, we've seen players like Jun, of course, on GX doing some magnificent work on that. Mickey had a great game on the other day. Players worldwide have been showing that Neeko on the flash timing, especially with the boosted lucidity now, giving more summoner cooldown, can absolutely change the game. Absolutely change the game. I think that actually Neeko maybe has the highest ceiling to impact a game as a support of any support champion right now, with the ability, particularly when you're building that proto belt, huge 5-man engages.
Yep.
Your vision play, yes, you're also very fragile at the same point. You can't be caught out of position, you will die, and it will kind of suck. So Nisqy, as someone who's new to the support role, see whether he can impact that a little later on. I think that they'll need him to be that big engage. Yes, there's a Realm Wall to help. Yes, Nako can flank as well, but really looking for him to be an instigator on Vitality.
Well, 113 gets Tangle Barbs up. Nako sees this as an opportunity, but Parus with the cover. A clone out. Nisqy, we all know that needs to be nerfed. That's there for 5 seconds. What the hell? And it can move.
Yeah.
And Neeko needs to be changed as Vitality. Okay, Herald starts off. We focus in, eyes on the prize. BDS will not stop this if they just linger.
Over that wall. Hook misses. He actually he dodged he guessed the right dodge there. Didn't quite get the distance on it though. Nisqy in the brush, using the clones again, blocking that out. Good route.
Tangle Barbs again has been really great from Nisqy. It just slows down the play from BDS. Mid is open though, and Ice is going to use this opportune moment. Takes down the turret. 3k though, and still not over yet. Parus with the setup of a hook. Pop Blossom though does nothing. Parus set up the static field, and it made it a nightmare as BDS now turn the play. They steal the Herald as well, and Irrelevant is chasing down Carzzy in a lot of trouble as the Infernal Chains brings back a target unusable by Vitality. Everything snatched from the palm of their hands.
The Neeko's got great power, but it does come with great responsibility to position well. Know that you have a lower HP bar. Gets hit by that Varus ultimate, couldn't flash in for the big follow-up on the Pop Blossom. And that's what really turned this fight. There's a hook onto him. Doesn't actually become the biggest issue you think. That's actually the big issue there. The Varus ult landing just afterwards. If that doesn't hit, you could potentially get a big 3-4 man ultimate and allow Nako to get into the play without committing the flash or something like that. So Nisqy, bit of a swing and a miss. Doesn't use the flash, can maybe look to use that on the next ult cooldown, but in this battle of kind of flamboyant supports, Parus wins.
Well, Irrelevant might be getting dove as we come back to live though. Look at the wave thinned out, and with the minions gone, a little bit harder to kill, but eventually dropping regardless. Vitality, it's going to be a trade for them because Herald, not only that, sets up the Bob, but it's actually going to set up for another turret. They got 6 grubs as well.
Yeah.
With Nidalee E.
And Tristana.
And
all of that
turret's gone.
They are the demo squad right now. Bring out the TNT. Inner turret goes down, and Nuke's got bang, baby. He gets paid. 6 grubs getting up towards the dragon as well. Yeah,
Oh
they just got everything on the payroll. Nice.
It is a map masterclass here. And Irrelevant, I mean, also getting that top wave too.
What's it like? Zaya gets Rakan, Trinivir gets Ashe. What does Nuke get? Paid. Gets everything there.
Tristana gets turrets. Her love language is turrets. I can understand why.
You got me a brick, my favorite.
Look at all the things I can buy with this. I mean, BDS in this early game, it's been pretty clean. Like, Vitality's options have been limited, and I think in these last 2 games, we've seen a recurrent theme that, like, BDS really prioritized dragons. Ice and Parus have had good laning phases, and 113 has been playing a lot more towards bot side, and it's been successful. I mean, their dragon stacking has given them condition. Even in the game they lost, it still gave them, I guess you could use the word momentum, in what later could be used to force their 5v5 fights.
And, you know, Vitality walked away with a very good game one in terms of the execution in their team fights later. Second game, that was, hang on a second, might have a catch here. They're going to be able to stop the back. They should be able to. Nuke caught out, does have ult and flash.
He's waiting to W over the wall. That's Nisqy, and yeah, he just collapsed the cheeks, I think. That's a fair thing to say.
Is it?
It really is, because there was just...
Look, you can choose the words which you want. I will just occasionally question them. I think that's my right as someone else who has a microphone next to you.
That's okay. You got to keep it in balance.
Sometimes.
You got to make sure that we don't
Everything in balance is all things should be.
Yes, that is a quote from a champion in the game. Surely.
I mean, probably, yeah. I mean, do you know what else is a quote? I mean, there's also, like, coward. You know, I found out the German word for cowards.
What is it?
The other day, Feigling.
Is that what he shouts out when he
I don't know whether it's Feiglinger.
Okay.
But if someone can confirm whether he says that in German, confirm. Thank you, Lena, again. Confirm. That's wonderful. Great. I hope that's made your day better. It's made my day better.
Well, you remember, I mean, I played in Chinese solo queue for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I always laugh because, I mean, I didn't know what I expected with Chinese Twitch, but it would, when he always popped out and said, Ni hao, like, I just, yeah, every time I was like, oh, that's right. That's right.
I really love it on the D&D skin as well, where everything's just pitch shifted a couple of octaves up.
Yeah.
We do have Neeko clones flying around the rift a little bit more again. Things go, oh, this is actually a big point. I should probably mention this too. If you're playing, we talked about mid lane turret in the first couple of games. Everyone knows mid lane's important. It's even more important against Blitzcrank, because now suddenly you've got much more access to walk into these kind of avenues, and out of Fog of War, a hook that can just one-shot you, it can just fly out of that. What that means is that Vitality will have to drop more jungle camps, they'll have to drop more waves if they're not confident in farming all 5 of them as well. And right here, this is terrifying. Right?
Yeah,
There's a chance of a hook going like this.
Pulls him in. A nice pick. Nako pops the ulti. He's surviving for now. Pop Blossom, though. The flash disengaged. 1-1-3 not caught out, but Carzzy flies through the map. Nicely pressed Vitality. I thought they were caught, but Nako is harder to kill.
Yeah, that was a fish that they couldn't land. Get the Nako on the hook, but they can't get a kill out of it. They lose one instead.
It's not over
actually
yet.
Looking for something now.
Irrelevant with the dominance. The hook lands again onto Nisqy. The first target secured. Irrelevant ran in to get the kill, but he's getting chased by Carzzy. He can't deal with the fire. Czajek looking for this front to back. This newfound love of a fight. He won't find anything more. Parus is waiting for another hook follow-up, but Vitality, there's not even a dragon there. They were just looking for the pick. They responded well.
I mean, Nisqy had already used his ultimate. It's not the worst thing to lose in there, I suppose, if you're going to lose anyone. Carzzy picks up a kill. He's very happy with that one. And it's going to close some of that gold gap with that Varus. And yeah, this is the difficulty of playing against the Blitzcrank. You lose that mid lane turret, you lose a lot of damage in that Fog of War, but you do bring him into melee range, and he does get a lot of healing with that ultimate. Even through that Ignite, he heals an absurd amount. Gets to survive. Carzzy gets to come through with some of the plasma, even though the Neeko doesn't get that much value. After this, you have used some of your bigger tools. Carzzy has double buffs, importantly, from this, and he's just kind of railing through the enemy front line. And I think BDS just couldn't close down the carries that they thought they could.
And Carzzy got a big shutdown from that as well. BDS cheering because the goal that was sitting on 1-1-3, or rather Vitality up, this goal that was sitting on that Nidalee has been transferred ever so slightly. Third item on the way. Carzzy to watch here in this game that is building bridges to our mid-game interest. As Dragon spawns in 25.
I just realized why he took so much damage. That's an Edge of Night. I hadn't tracked my Renekton builds. I didn't think they built different stuff nowadays.
I don't remember the last Edge of Night Renekton I've seen.
Yep, but me neither. It's been a while since we've seen that one come out. Both of them have the Shojin, which gives them some HP. Nuke will, again, get paid. Yay, bricks. He loves those things. Aatrox started up, though, on BDS. Let's see if they can land some skill shots.
Nisqy's hovering over the wall. It's all about that Pop Blossom. You're right, no flash available. Parus is looking for an angle as Nako's found one onto Irrelevant. Irrelevant has just been tagged into the Dominus. Nako's done his job, but now Vitality have to do theirs to the steal. BDS have got an option. They've got a revive, but Carzzy on top of Nuke. It's all about how the 5v5. Look at Czajek as well, spreading the love, spreading the demons, and inside at night, he cries and claws because Czajek, chasing down Ice, is ready to relive his past. A death, a death, a death. Everybody loses the Artican. A steal, but Vitality wipe them all.
It's just less gold going over. It means that they're not around for the Dragon. Now, if this is without your big Nisqy Neeko ultimate, again, you don't have that flash really available. Not the biggest. I suppose this time he actually does lock up some here. The big thing here, though, is that Nako gets the spell shield off of Ice, gets a load of HP. Nako gets so much value here. That 3-man queue at the end, I think, is what really turns the table in terms of the HP. Well, all that's happening, Carzzy is isolated in his own kind of assassin duels as well. Really, shout out towards that Aatrox, though.
It's just 50-50, you know? Life happens. Any sums?
Okay, Carzzy wasn't happy about the 50-50, but whatever, we digress. And
he just looks to his right and says, that's a 0 for Neeko, friend. Maybe we need to put them back into the therapy chair with
maybe we do. Carzzy's going to have to vent a little bit more, but for Vitality, they've wiped off all the Artican. So as far as I'm concerned, even. Yes, Artican, you know, it still happened, but Even though I see gold leads for BDS, I'm seeing Vitality starting to win fights again. It's deja vu for game one as Parus is caught out. He flashes away. Pop Blossom, it catches the edge of ice with the Tangle Barbs as well. Nisqy's done his job. It's all about rolls as Nako. His dive almost successful. Irrelevant with the dominance. He loses his edge of night. Re-engage for Nako, but Lyncas is frontlining. He pops the ulti. Carzzy reposition onto Irrelevant, carrying the fight. Almost. Irrelevant gets out. Here's TP to rejoin. Remember, it's about Baron. A pick-off enables the start.
That Renekton is very squishy. Was a little bit worried about his positioning when he went for that first play into it. And Carzzy very nearly finished him off. Doesn't want to commit that flash thing, obviously so. Both these AD carries, very, very threatening. There's only literally 1 gold between them as it stands. Ice, great disengage. Carzzy very nearly turns it around. See that? Neither of these teams have a huge margin of error. This time, Nisqy actually does land a big ulti. Manages to get that cleanse out of ice. Even with that Edge of Night, quite hard for him to survive. Of course, Proto Belt, one of the best tools in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's Rocket Belt. It's been many years.
Same thing, who cares? I still call it Tarby. I still call it Gravity Field. I don't know. Bro, I'm going to start using Wriggle's Lantern for jungle items at this point. Even though we don't have jungle
Bring
items.
back that Fire Garas.
Yep.
The clone going into that too. So, Baron up and available. A little while till we have that dragon, 2 dragons apiece, so no soul points. BDS, you know, they do have a gold lead. Part of it is on a Nidalee, which doesn't... It's not as consistent use of that gold, but we have to mention it anyway, just in case those spheres do land, and they start to really, really hurt. BDS, have good vision control, trying to catch Nisqy.
Oh, caught him midway in the air. Doesn't know. It doesn't care. Parus. Beautiful stuff. BDS now with an option in front of Baron.
Neeko is fragile. One of the best supports in the game if you can play around the big engage and the big lane potential. I don't think Nisqy's been able to do that. I think he's been punished an awful lot, and Parus has had a great game on the Blitzcrank, a champion he used to win Emir Masters before, and now Baron started up without that Neeko engage.
And to Tristana, remember as well, even though Ice has lethality, all it takes is about 10 seconds. Watch it now, Nuke with IE, I'm pretty sure. It's just going to go down. Baron there, Parus does it again. A great hook onto Czajek. Stunned up, but he can play the fight. Irrelevant gets out before he loses Baron, but this is an option for BDS. Watch Nuke yet again onto Lyncas, who doesn't land anything rooted up. Though the ulti, Nuke slice saved by his own device. Pop Blossom comes in, hits nothing. Ice now gets the hit. Nako's pulled in, the flash away. BDS's fight so close to going away too. Vitality are outfought.
It's a 3 for 3, but BDS still walk away with the Baron. These Neeko ults are so close to getting value, but Neeko needs to land some more. Great hook out of the bush. I mean, it gets onto one of your damage carries. There is a lot to break down in the micro here. I think the Crescent Guard gets a ridiculous amount of value. Nuke still gets to jump forwards though. This is the key moment. I thought that Nuke was going to get absolutely blasted. I thought that Nako was going to be able to pop off. And the Buster Shot completely changes the tone of the fight. If that Q goes cleanly onto that Tristana, I think Nako cleans up. He's had a great set of team fights on the Aatrox. I think he's done very well with it. Very, very nearly gets the carry.
Nisqy, though, face checking again. That's not good because Nuke is just here. Nisqy's dead. There's a reset as well. Nuke can get on out. Teleport burn for BDS, but that's because Infernal Dragon number 3 for them, or rather Dragon overall, is up.
Yeah, I don't think
Nisqy.
I don't think Neeko has a 10 death power spike, folks. I don't
think so.
I don't think that's how that champion works.
But Parus is a hook magnet. Well, no, everyone else is. He's the hook.
The hook hitter.
Yeah.
Hook sniper.
I almost said something different.
Marksman.
He's the hook man, okay?
Sounds like it's always sunny.
It's always so close, isn't it? Soul point. In that last fight, got to give credit to Nako. You know, he's such a pain on this Aatrox twice today. We've seen great team fighting Aatroxes so caught in the moment of Nuke Soul, of Ice only just surviving, of making it so difficult. You said it was an even trade, it was. But Baron's still there. There's still a 2k gold lease. Ice needs to be careful. Realm Ward's going to be used. He's got the Edge of Night that'll buy him some time, but he's rooted up. The Edge becomes White Lightning, rather. The dive is there. ISO gets damaged down as Carzzy fighting from the right-hand side, but here comes Nuke again. They're still diving a mid-tier 1 turret at 30 minutes. Nuke doesn't get the reset. Explosive charge down. This 3.5 item Tristana is cleaning up, and Vitality can't stick around.
Vitality try and look for a snap play, call the buff and try and get rid of some of the buffs. Nuke still has it though, and he's just really strong. really strong. That Infinity Edge shreds through the team of Vitality as they dive too deep. BDS still have power on the side lanes to take down an inner turret in top lane. And BDS with a 6,000 gold lead. There it is.
Boom, boom, that turret's dead.
It's just gone. Vitality in such an important game for them. Reminder, at 2 and 3. If they slide to 2 and 4, things get rough for them. They do get rough for them in terms of their playoff chances afterwards. Nisqy doesn't get into the realm of in time. Mistimed, presumably from Czajek there, I suppose. If you had that Neeko ult coming through, which we said is one of the creative engages you can have, does it change anything? I have to say, actually, I think all it does is get Nisqy killed. Not sure it really changes that much, especially with the tower firing at them, but still, not what they wanted, I don't think.
Man, quick reminder, again, we talked about it before, like against G2, this is just how well Nuke did. Today, I'm sure we'll have a recall in our next BDS game and how well he did in this series, but he's stepping up to the plate big. 1-1-3 on this Nidalee as well. 3K gold lead needs to be mentioned. So mid-jungle, and I feel like I said that last game as well, mid-jungle did really well. Irrelevance had a better day, like Irrelevance getting back to his old ways of having really impactful team fighting. You know, and Ice and Parus, what a day they've had. What a series this has been. And, you know, we might not be in Madrid. Shout out to Shox, who's stranded there. And with
they might just say that now. I mean, good luck getting out of Madrid.
I guess at least he's going to Madrid permanently because Shox, if she's stuck there, yeah, we got to go to Shox. We got to go to GB. We got to go to Jack. Shout out for keeping it strong. I don't know what's going over there. But
no es problema.
No, I will learn. But I had a point about this. The games this weekend have been mega hype. Today, not too bad, actually. You know, this Vitality BDS series has started warming up game by game by game.
I mean, I look through grand majority of our matches happening in the LEC, and there's something which keeps me in my seat. There's something which keeps me watching these. And, you know, we have two teams here which, yes, they are going to flub some engages every now and again. They are under pressure, and they haven't figured out everything to go right with their team so far, but they are making things eventful. I think that both of these teams have found ways to make plays, to push the pace of the game further forward. I think they've tried to seal themselves into some identities. Vitality, I mean, credit to they have cooked. Now there might be smoke coming out of the kitchen, but they have cooked something. And BDS, I mean, they've fallen back on a little bit of comfort now in this game 3, playing one around that double poke. Nuke on something like that, Tristana has always been, it has been something which has been very powerful for him in recent years.
I mean, Nuke is, and will continue to be, the star of this team that keeps on shining for BDS. How do they enable him? 4 items on this Tristana, and avoid quick blades means that E is permanently off a cooldown. If he stays in a side wave, they lose the base. That's the threat now with 6 scrubs. That's what BDS can play towards because, look, Baron's up in 30 seconds. Nuke stays on top even despite having the teleport. Dragon's up a little bit after that as well. BDS are leveraging how much vision they have, how much control they have of enemy jungle right now, where Vitality to step in need some kind of a monster engage.
These spears are scaring the heck out of me.
They are.
They are pixels off of Blue Man in the mid lane. And unlike the percussive group, I don't think this is a sold-out show if he gets hit for that one. It will just be towards the Morg instead. Minute till that Dragon, as you're saying. Fighting over the mid lane push, obviously very important. BDS, they can just play it slow, look for the extra cooldowns. That scares me, man. It scares me.
I mean, that's a Ryze with HP as well. 1-1-3, like we said, it's just a matter about scaling in this game. Where's the frontline tank? Who can keep face checking? It's going to be Nako for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Lyncas flashes in, but he's all stepped away. That's Nuke's ulti, but finally, Nesquik, not just a good-looking drink. He looks freaking amazing on Neeko as well. Nako chasing 1-1-3, trying to predict the remnants of the fight. All it took was one from Vitality, and it finally came due.
When they needed him the most, the Neeko lands the ult. Those 6 studs, just forget about them. Vitality might have just gotten what it takes to crack open the game.
Look at the death time. It's 40 seconds, 30 seconds. Maybe it is. I mean, screw the grubs. They've got enough damage between the 5 of them. It's a wipe. Realm Warp in as well. Parus, he ain't sleeping well tonight. BDS had this game, but from mid lane to support, his one moment in the sun shows up big. Vitality. 3-3, knocking the smile off BDS's face.
When they needed him most, Nisqy answered. It was a rough game.